Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to thank God that I can stand here and say a few words about my uncle. He's the loss of my grandma children. And God has given us 70, and He's passed that. We're not here to mourn him. We're just here to celebrate his life. I can give a little bit of what I can remember as a child growing up with him around me. I can remember him as a disciplinarian. He was very strict on discipline, and he believed in don't spare the rod and spoil the child. It wasn't a bad thing, because as you know, Jamaican parents, they want the best for us. I can remember once, you know, as kids, you get inquisitive, you see what everybody else doing. And my other uncle used to put the cigar on the back of the house, and he used to go and he cut this off, and he light it and smoke it. And as a child, you're inquisitive, and you see him doing it. So I went and I do it. But Uncle Archie caught me. And when he caught me, I thought he was going to beat me, but he called me, he said, come. He said, you want to smoke? And he light this, take the cigarette, and he said to me, put the fire in your mouth. And make sure you pull the smoke down. And when I pull it, I could feel like everything was coming out. I was a child. But it taught me a valued lesson. That is not everything you see you must do. He was a very loving man. I can remember him going to the bush, bringing home provision, he and his brother. And I can, even talking to you now, I can see the step. When he used to come in from the bush, he used to put the chopper, what we call a cutlass, lean it up right beside the house. So I've got some fond memories of him. Nobody wants to lose a loved one because Uncle was never sick. The last time I spoke to him on the phone before he got sick, he was saying to me that I've never been in hospital, you know, but we love him, but Jesus loved him best. And I know that by God's help, we will meet him again.
Amen.
He's not dead, he's only asleep. And when Christ comes back, all the dead in Christ shall rise. So if we continue to live that path, we as friends and family, we will see him again. That's my few words in Jesus' name.
Amen. On a homemade.
Good morning, everybody. I have to say something. It's not easy for me, but I have to say something. Yeah, Archie. Archie is someone that I can depend on. I come to the United Kingdom 1990. Yeah. When I came here, I have family, but I didn't know where to find them. And as a part of the family, because they are my family, I'm married to one of the brothers, then which his wife, brother. So I'm a part of the family, the regular family. And we all come for so many years. We have been together. He's there for me, thick or thin. We call each other. He come, and if I need something, I can always depend on him. Say, Archie, do this. And he's an active man. A man who will do anything. You can call him. There's nothing that he cannot do when I check it. Because he's like, if you said you have something break down, he come. And he do a little engineer, he do this, very handy. He's a handyman. And talking about joke, he's a joker. If you feel sad, and doesn't matter what it is, and you will take it, serious and take it. Because I'm a person, I'm an emotional person, I'm a person that take on things, and so on. And sometimes he used to say to me, no, you have got to let go of things. He's like that. It's very encouraging. And I'm telling you, when I heard that he passed out, because one three weeks before he died in the hospital, we have a video talk, a talk, and when he was in the hospital, and I said to him, I said, he couldn't, anyway, I see that, he was going still. And I said, Archie, I know you're a strong man, hold on, hold on. I've been saying all that, but I look at his face and, I see like he's changing. So. But I wasn't looking for him to pass off so quick. It was a shock to me when I heard that he come, because till I say he will come back, because he's a strong man. He's a man that never, when I say strong, I used to say, boy, you have double strength, when I actually walk and stuff. The thing that he does, I cannot do it, and I'm much younger than him. And I tell you, Archie, man, I tell you, I really felt it, And I said, I wasn't planning to be here, because I'm not living here. But no way could I not be here with you people, to give the support, And what I can say to all the families, John, Christopher, Johnny, every one of the family here. Archie is gone to rest. Archie is a man that believes in God. Sometimes he knows a lot. He can tell you a lot, experience that he get from, when he was young growing up. Things that could have happened to him. But because God is with him, it don't happen. I didn't come here just to do anything, but I've got these words on my mouth right now, and I'm going to sing just a part of this song from my heart. God give life, and He take it away. He is a potter, and I am the clay. When I view the Lord's sunset across over the sea, I know the sunrise will be waiting for me. Oh, what a sunrise it is going to be, when death shall lose its sting and the red victory. The solid will be broken and the storm clouds floats away. I hear the saints of angels singing and the tone coming there. Praise the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I know He has a lively hope, Don't be worried. Just let us celebrate because he's that type of person. He's very lively. So let us not be sad. He's gone to a place of rest, you know. And right now we have to just cheer up his wife. His wife is there. He has so many blessings to receive, you know, because he takes care of his wife. He feeds her all the time. He wants to see she eat. And you know, I know he has a place of rest. So I won't be no more long. Other people have to do things, but I tell you, he's at a place of peace. So be courageous, be of good courage, because I know he's at a good place.
We now call Rose Cuff to come up, please.
May I speak to you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Can you hear me? Oh, I said that, sir.
Okay. Should have broken it.
Yes, I think we are here to give thanks for the life of our brother, Archie. I know some of you may be saying, why brother? Well, I mentioned brother, although I know there's husband, there's wife, there's children, there's aunties, there's brother, there's grandfather, and all the other cousins and friends. I said this because we are all children of the Lord. And I'm sure you're all grieved of losing a brother. Archie and I, Archie for me, Mr. Lester for you. We went to the same primary school in Jamaica. We grew up and went our own way, and we only met when I returned to visit my parents. So, Archie, a very loving person. In 2005, I heard my doorbell ring, and when I went out to answer, it was Archie. He looked at me and he said, Rose, and I said, Archie, I didn't know you were here. He said, I didn't know neither. He didn't come to see me because he did not know I was living there. Archie came because he was spreading the news of Christ. And his news spreading was selling religious big cards, the Last Supper, and other things, Jesus going on the sea. And that was his way of spreading the gospel. I invited him in, and then we had a talk about what we had been doing during this long time. I invited him to my husband, and there he became a friend of ours, an everlasting friend. He did not only step by doing, but he came in and he discussed Christ with us. Of course, his next invitation was for me to come and see where he's worshiping. So I went to the Kensington Temple and I realized the good life that was there. And I'm so pleased today because I understand that one of the pastors from there is present. Now, that shows the type of person Archie was. He was a very good businessman. He did not only stop at that. He started to sell furniture. So if you come to my house, you will see furniture. His daughter visited me recently, and when she looked around, she said, "That's Daddy." And that was the first picture of Jesus and the Last Supper. Well, we continued our relationship in love, and we went on further. He taught us how to save, and so he started what you call the partner. So every Sunday on his way from church, from the Kensington Temple, he always come to collect. And that was a good thing for us. Today, I'm here. I'm very sad because he always talked about his family, his children. And he always called me at home since he left Alsden and went to North Wembley. He's the one that did the calling. He told me his wife wasn't well, and we also talked about other things. But he never complained that he was sick. So that was a shock to me. He always says he's looking after the wife. He had to feed her, and I always say, "How's the missus?" Because he did the calling, and he called very often. But I'm a bit guilty, because about 3 weeks before he passed on, 3 or 4 weeks, he called me, and I was busy on the other line. I said, "I'll call you back." And I didn't have the opportunity of calling him back. So what happened? He told John, was at his bedside in the hospital, when John called me and said, "My father would like to speak to you, but I do not know if he's in the position to speak because he's so weak." I said, "Weak? What is he doing in hospital? He didn't tell me he was sick." He's always talking about his wife. He never ever complained of any pain, because that he bore with his master. He did not want to give anyone any problem. And so John took the phone and let me sing. And he could say, "Rose," because they call me Rose. In Jamaica they call me Rose, and the people here call me Rose. But in England, my family is Patterson, because surname was Patterson, and they call me Pat. So I'm Rose for Archie, and I'm Pat for those here. Archie, a very kind person, very considerate, one who spent his time quietly looking to the Lord, praising the Lord. And I remember when he called me 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, he was about to tell me that his daughter from Canada was here, because he always speaks of his children. He told me every move they make, whether Jamaica, back to Jamaica, or back to Canada. And I thought, I said I would call you back, because I was very busy on the other line. I did not call him back. And when I heard that they were here, I said, this is it. You wanted to tell me that they were here. I said, if they are here at this time and you went abroad so quickly, something must be wrong. Something must be wrong if they here and they went so quickly. And that was the time Archie was giving himself to the Lord. I've learned something from that, because when someone calls you, sometimes you haven't got the opportunity, and sometimes you said you'll call back, but you must call back. You must call back, and this is where I failed. I didn't call back. I feel very guilty for that. Archie, a loving person. I remember when they had this pandemic, I was sick. I didn't know anything about buying up things and all like that. And so I ran out of toilet paper. None at all. And Archie called me that day. And I told him, I'm not bad, but I haven't got a toilet paper. He said, haven't you? I said, no. He said, all right, I'll send John. And this was the first I was seeing this John. Quickly, at the gate, there was a car parked, and then ring the bell. My daughter went out, and there was Archie John with the toilet paper. And that was the first I met John. And, you know, the love that came, someone so considerate. And another consideration, when I saw him feeding his wife, you know, he spent time with her. He said, I will bring you, but I cannot come to Harlesden as before, because my duty is to stay in. Although there are other people there to help, you know, carers and my duty is to be with her. And we all tried a pattern of that. He worked, he did his Christian work, and he did what he should do, and to the end of the life. I'm saying to Archie's family, lean on his hand, lean on the everlasting hand. Never give up, because if you lean on that everlasting hand, you will be comforted. And for the relatives who are here, I will have the privilege of meeting Mr. Brown and his wife, whom Archie always speaks to me about. My dear John, I know it is a difficult time, but Jesus will take care of you all if you lean on that everlasting. And shall we all lean on the everlasting arm when we are in trouble? Archie, may you rest in peace and rise with eternal life. Amen.
This is a tribute from Derek Henry, who couldn't be with us today. I have known Mr. Lester for over 50 years. Throughout this time, we have lived a distance away, as I have been in Birmingham and he lived in London. There is a hymn that says, "What a friend we have in Jesus." I can truly say, what a friend I have in Mr. Lester. Mr. Lester was such a quiet and nice person, and we were like family. Mr. Lester was a person who I don't think would even step on an ant. I myself, over the years, have been running a business in Birmingham as a photographer, and I was doing a lot of picture framing. When I first met Mr. Lester, I knocked at his door for some custom. From then, we started to talk to each other, and then after he purchased what he required from me, I asked him if he could introduce me to any friends for custom, which he did. After a period of time, we decided if he took the picture frames from me, he could sell them on, which he began to do. Over a period of time, he became my major agent in London, and from there, I began to manufacture furniture, which he also distributed in London. Mr. Lester and his wife always welcomed me, and they looked after me. I could never leave the house without having a dinner from them first. Sometimes I would even stay overnight. They had a great respect for me, as I have for them. There were also times where I would arrange excursions to various places, such as Liverpool, and we would cruise along the Mersey. We went to the Isle of Man, France, and Belgium. After Mr. Lester retired, he came to Birmingham, where he played a big part in supervising my business, coming down Monday to Friday to do this. Because of the distance throughout the later years, we have not been able to meet up as often. However, we still corresponded on the phone almost every week. When he told me he wasn't well, that he could be going into hospital, I was so concerned. We were not able to have a great conversation, but his daughter Joanne explained everything to me. The day he passed away, she called me to inform me. I was so distraught. He is so sadly missed, and my condolences to Mrs. Lester and all the family. I'm so sorry I cannot attend in person, but my thoughts and prayers are with the family. May he rest in peace.
We now have the eulogy to be read by Christopher, Archie's son.
Good morning, everybody. My sister, Nablet, Paula, Joan, and I would like to extend our gratitude to all the family members, friends, attendees who are here today to honour our late father and have supported us. The phone calls and visits we've received have not gone unappreciated. Thank you very much. No man is just one thing. Our father was no different. Dad was known simply as Lester to many of the men who ran the apartment, organised excursions, sold pictures and furniture, also fizzy drinks. However, to his family, he was a provider, a husband, a father, a grandfather, uncle, cousin, mentor, and a great friend. Archibald Gustavus Lester, the youngest of 7 children, 2 boys and 4 girls, was born to Irene Pinnock and Ezekiel Lester in Lawrence, Tivane, St Andrews, Jamaica, on the 27th of February 1928. During Dad's time in Jamaica, he worked as a farmer, cultivating grounds, provisions, and rearing cattle. Dad would sell his produce to hagglers who would take them to sell in local markets. Cousin Ruby's dad's eldest surviving niece recalls that he was a man who had great love for his family and was a very quiet-natured man. Dad's sister Carmen was the first to leave Jamaica, travelling to the US and in the 1950s. And in June 1960, Dad and his older brother Harry, like so many others before them, travelled to the UK in search of a better life. This meant Dad would be leaving behind his mother, his eldest daughter Nablet, siblings Ethine, Lucella, Verona, Beryl, Carmen, as well as a large extended family. On arrival in the UK, Dad found work in a number of jobs. He would always say how easy jobs were to come by then. It was a time when you could walk out of one job and straight into another job. In the early 1960s, Dad met our sister Paula's mother. Paula came along in 1962. However, their relationship with her mother didn't last. And Nablet was Nablet's mother and was married to my dad in the early 20s. and they were married for 12 years. In the late 60s, Dad met Derek Henry. They struck up a working relationship, which quickly became a great friendship, one which lasted until the day Dad passed. Dad would purchase pictures, picture frames and bedroom and living room furniture from Uncle Derek. Our apologies, but if you look around your parents' or grandparents' home, Dad is more likely responsible for the religious pictures, prints hanging on the walls, pictures as the Michelangelo, the Last Supper and the Black Reprints artwork. Dad met our mum after being introduced by her brother Rodolph Redley. Mum and Dad were married for 51 years and shared everything life could offer. For my sister, Joanne and I growing up in the Lester household, our parents had two distinct roles. Mum was a homemaker. She was always an excellent seamstress, the matriarch of the family. Dad's business grew via word of mouth. He would go across London to see what sales he could drum up. Monday to Friday, Dad would come home from work, have dinner, jump in his van and hit the road to sell pictures and furniture. As you have heard, Dad and Uncle Derek also partnered in running excursions to places such as Blackpool, the Isle of Man, Belgium. All this Dad would do after a full day's work. Dad would always say he was out finding ways to turn the pennies into pounds. Dad was always there for everyone, family, neighbours, or friends and colleagues. When he was elected as shop steward, Dad would tell his stories of the battles that he would have with management over some injustices that he felt was being shown to his colleagues at work. After being made redundant at the age of 60 from London Gears, where he had worked for many years, Dad was able to focus more time on his sales. He also turned his hand to painting, decorating with friends, and the late Mr. Vincent. Dad liked to keep busy. He would never stay one place for long. In later years, when many would have put their feet up to enjoy retirement, he also became a landlord, which at that time came with its own set of challenges. Anyone that knew Dad will remember his good sense of humour and his love of a good debate, especially when it concerned politics and current affairs. He loved to laugh, especially at himself. He could tease and needle, but never out of malice. He placed a great value on a good joke. He loved big cars, the bigger the better. Many will remember Dad driving around in his cream-coloured Mercedes. He loved that car. It was his pride and joy, and it was a tough decision for him to part with at the age of 92. And of course, Dad wasn't always 100% good-humoured. Like anyone, he had his little ways. He was always running late. Whenever we had somewhere to go, we were always running late. Invariably, this meant we would be speeding along in his car. In 2012, Mum was diagnosed with mixed vascular dementia and Alzheimer's. Prior to Mum being diagnosed, Dad was still very active and still out and about. However, during the last 5 years of Dad's life, he became the primary carer for my mum, to the extent he would often neglect himself. Dad was focused and determined on making sure that Mum received the best care possible. Trust me, Dad would make it known in no uncertain terms to the carers and care agencies looking after my mum. If he wasn't happy with something, it was and has been a hard time for all of us to lose our matriarchs to such a cruel illness. Dad, a man of quiet faith, prayed for Mum daily. He was sustained by the love of the Almighty and the real and enduring love of our Mum. For us, it has been painful to have to tell Mum on a daily basis when she asks where is Dad, her husband, which has passed away. Dad was hardworking, compassionate towards everyone. deserve the success and rich life that he enjoyed. He taught us many things, but I think most importantly, he gave us the ability to know that if you really put your mind to something, anything is possible with hard work and determination, and never be afraid to give anything a go. Dad's love was unconditional, and this is something we will cherish from his character and take with us forever. His kindness and generosity will be remembered by all who had the pleasure of knowing him. Dad, we are going to remember you for exactly that and so much more. And we're going to miss you. Your decency, sincerity, kind soul will stay with us forever. So through our tears, let us see the blessings of knowing and loving you, a great and noble man, and the best father a son and daughter can have. Dad was blessed with 4 children, Navalette, Paula, Christopher, Joanne, grandchildren, Patrick, Dujon, Judith, Marley, Amelia, Alexander, 10 great-grandchildren, Matthew, Brianna, Gabriel, Alison, Jonathan, Sydney, Jordan, Jade, Jaden, Levi. Thank you for being a great provider, husband, father, and great-grandfather, uncle, cousin, mentor, and great friend. Rest in peace.
Thank you, Christopher. And that wasn't easy. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask you to remain seated while the band and I'm going to play that truly inspirational song to us. And that song is Amazing Grace. So I'm going to ask the lead singer to come forwards.